Ken Lobb, and I'm coming to you from the Treehouse. This is Nintendo's top secret R&D facility here in Redmond, Washington. I'm here to tell you about the Nintendo 64 hardware. I'd like to tell you about all the technical specs and, well, actually nobody really cares about technical specs. What matters is fun. You don't call it the fun machine for nothing. This is the N64 game console. It may be smaller than the Super Nintendo, but believe me, this baby is packed with power. And here we have the cartridge slot. As you probably already know, Nintendo is dedicated to the speed of pure silicon. There's only one reason. Better games. You get bigger environments where you have instantaneous access through large 3D worlds. And just as important, you will never see, now loading. Please wait. And here we have the expansion port. This allows you to upgrade the RAM of the system. There's some other things we can do with this port, but we can't talk about that right now. And here we have the controller ports. I'd like you to notice that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We feel that today's action games, sports games, fighting games, racing games, they all benefit from 4-player simultaneous play. And with the Nintendo 64, you don't need a tab. And here we have the new controller. This innovative design will revolutionize the way people play video games. Let's face it, a game player's experience begins and ends with the interface. Notice the 3 prongs. This allows you to hold the controller in 3 different ways. You have the ability to hold it as if it was a traditional Super Nintendo controller, with access to a D-pad, and 6 buttons on the face of the controller, as well as the L and R buttons. You have a new analog style of control with the ability to move in true 3D, where the analog stick can read not only which direction you're going in, but the amount of distance you move the stick will apply force. This gives you the ability to do things like measure walking and running or jogging. I could use it for a flying game, like a traditional flight stick in an airplane. We're using this C cluster of yellow buttons to fly the camera. This will allow you to do things like zoom in and zoom out of your view and rotate left and right around your character in real-time 3D. The third configuration is to use the analog in your right hand and the digital pad in your left hand. This could maybe be used in a function where you want your character to move around, but you want to be able to have very accurate targeting. This is one of the reasons we have the Z button. The Z button can be used as a trigger while targeting with the analog stick. In the case of the Mario game, the Z button is actually used to get Mario to duck or crawl. 3D control for a 3D world. Here we have the memory pack. Fits in here. We're using this to replace traditional battery-backed RAM in our cartridges. There are several advantages to having the memory pack in the controller as opposed to in the cartridge. The main is, the memory pack will allow you to save several different games on one memory pack. There's other very new and exciting things you can do with the memory pack though. Let's say I have a baseball game and I have all the stats for my Mariners. I go to my friend's house, he has his controller with his memory pack, and I challenge him to play against my team by bringing my controller and challenging him at his house. But probably the coolest part about the controller is that there's so many different ways that you can use the controller. It's going to allow designers to do things that maybe have never been thought of before. In other words, innovation. Innovative controller equals innovative game design. And for those of you with more of a play aloud taste, we're actually going to offer the controller in several different colors. That's about it for the hardware. Now let's go to a little demo of some of the games that will be available for the Nintendo 64. While you're watching these products, remember, fun is the name of the game.
Hello!
So let me jump into the game. You notice that Mario's standing in this huge field outside of a big castle. Now if I take the control stick and I just move it a little bit, you notice that Mario starts to tiptoe. I move it a little bit farther, Mario starts this kind of slow walk. Crank it and he goes full out sprint. Whip it in circles, full 360-degree control.
360.
Now I'm gonna cruise up into this castle, because that's where most of the levels are.
Go, little man, go.
Whee. What kind of skills do you have, little man?
Now that I'm inside of the castle, before I go show you a level, I'd like to show you some of the cool things that Mario can do. Now, I'm sure you've seen traditional Mario games. You know that Mario can do things like climb and jump on enemies. But now Mario's got some stunts.
Check out Mario, man, doing those backflips.
If I push the Z and then push jump, Mario does a layout double backflip.
Awesome.
If I run along, push Z jump, whoa, Mario jumps a mile.
Oh, look at that. Did you see him climb?
I can get Mario to do things climbing trees. I can get Mario to do things by hanging on ledges. I can do a ton of stuff with Mario.
Oh, did you see that?
Yo, you see the way he went to that door?
I'm kidding.
Here we go! Control stick is cool. It actually allows full 360-degree control. Okay, so I'm gonna cruise along here and jump into this picture. Whoops.
Hey, how'd you do that?
Actually, it was pretty hard. We had a bunch of R&D guys with busted heads. This This level's kind of cool because there's swimming levels in the game, there's snow levels, there's other stuff. This level actually involves swimming as well as kind of some traditional platform stuff. However, now it's all happening in a 3D world.
That's awesome. That was smooth.
There's one other cool area I'd like to show you in the game before we move on to the other products. And that's Bowser. I'm not going to go all the way through this level, but I just want to show you some of the cool things you can do in here.
Give him a toss, man. He ain't nothing.
Anyway, I think I could go on for about the next 20 hours telling you about Mario 64, but I think it's time we move on to Armand, who's going to show you Pilot Wings.